Thanks again, Chef Pesaque, for being with us today. First, we can tell us about a bit about yourself, how you grew up with a family that owned a restaurant, obviously, and what's your relationship with food when you're growing up.
Well, the thing here, in houses, the gastronomic scene is very, very intense. Here in we have a huge thing going on around the table in houses in family because we cook on houses. So it's a rich thing happening in houses. So everything, eh, my 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 thing with the gastronomic scene starts there. But when I was very young, I started cooking a bit at home around 11, 12 years, when I was 11 or 12 years. But when I was in high school, before get out, I went to some courses. My mother asked for permission to the director in the school. And because there was a French chef coming to Peru to make a course, and I went there. I stepped there for a couple years, a week, 1 year, and then the next year a week more. And that was my first serious thing with the kitchen. I was like 14 or 15, something like that.
Wow.
And then I started like thinking that okay, I think this is for me. And then I was like looking kitchen like professional, and everything started there. Then I study at Cordon Bleu, Peru, and make staging in different nice restaurants in Peru. And then I work and traveled and worked in Colorado, in United States. Then come back, and then I went to make a master in ICIF in Costiglioli in Asti, Italy. I worked there in a couple Italian restaurants. Then I came back, worked at 4 years at the restaurant called Grano in Barranco, and then turned the opportunity to open Mayta with my family. And sometimes that opportunity doesn't come twice.
Mm.
So I get it. I say okay, but the restaurant was going to born a year after that. So I have a little time. I have a little time. So what I do, I went to Spain to Celler de Can Roca to work there a bit, and then come back and open Mayta. Well, and now Mayta, it's turning this year 15 years.
Wow. Nice.
Yes, and I opened years ago some other restaurants like 500 Grados, Sapiens, Matt Burger, Callao in Holland, and well, we have some things happening there besides Mayta, no? But Mayta, it's our soul, it's our main restaurant, no? And where I am in the services.
Right. We'll definitely get into some of the other restaurants you worked at a little bit, but like you said, obviously you have a lot of experience working in different countries and locations. Do you find any particular difference in the way that people work in different countries, different restaurants in particular?
I think yes. I think, for example, what I learned in the States, it's the discipline. They are very disciplined. And in Europe, for example, I think they are disciplined as well. But I think in the United States, it's more, a little bit more. And in Europe, the passion for the ingredients, the passion for the work, it's kind of a little different. And I learned that there. And here in Peru, I execute that two things that kill in me. And what I found here, it's motivation, love for my country. But the thing is, I I I found an unbelievable country, ocean, coast, Andes, Amazonas, that that it's like our gasoline, no? and from everywhere. So what I get here as was motivation.
Yeah, that's very interesting. As I just mentioned before, when I went to Peru, one of the things that really was interesting to me was the fact that there are so many different things. Obviously, there's the potatoes, there's all kinds of interesting plants and produce that you guys have. That's really
Yes,
just available in Peru, right?
the great thing we have here, we have a lot of microclimates. So you can find a lot of herbs in the Amazonas. You can find whatever, everything. It's amazing. And and the pantry, herbs, roots. The ocean have a lot of fish. We have a lot of fruits, leaves, flowers. It's amazing. Tubers, corns, you know. So that's why I always say to decide to be a cook in Peru, it's not that hard.
It's true. You have great products. I mean, I know, like when I went to the fish market in Lima, it's amazing. Just the amount of different kinds of fish, and obviously the fresh off the ocean, and just the normal mercados with the different vegetables is awesome. Now, in one of your interviews, I've read that you mentioned you consider your restaurants sort of small embassies of culture. So,
Yes,
how does
yes.
that idea come about?
The thing is, before I thought I didn't thought think too much on that, but I just was doing a concept with Peruvian food and whatever, with obviously responsibility and everything. But one day I went to Hong Kong to make a dinner,
That's where I'm
and
from, by the way, originally.
it's amazing. I love Hong Kong. I
Uh-huh.
love it. I was in Lang Kwai Fong, so nights
Oh, okay.
was was very fun.
Fun night, I can tell.
And the thing is, there was a guy, local guy, that came and told me there is a friend that told me that I have to came here to eat because it's flavorful, it's very nice and whatever. And I told him, oh, that's very nice. And he told me, where are you from? I told him, obviously from Peru. Ah, Peru. He didn't know too much the country, and I told him, well, Machu Picchu, and he he connected. No, Machu Picchu, okay, what, blah blah, and he loved it and he loved it. And after 2 days he come again, and I said, oh, nice to see you again. Or, I mean, you know what, your food create a lot of cur- cur- curiosity from me. And I start searching and look, and he bought tickets. He went to Machu Picchu, he went to Lima, he was going to La Selva with the family, and that because of the food we put on the table. So I was thinking, and it's a small thing,
Mhm.
but what we do is a little emphasis of our culture through gastronomy, and I think it's that. So from there on, I think that we open small embassies of our culture through gastronomy.
That's very cool. I love that story. Now, do you think once you have that idea in mind, is it is there more pressure that you put on yourself? And
Of course,
also
it's
does it change
pressure.
the way you cook? Yeah.
Course, it's pressure, but at the same time, it's motivation because you can open doors from others. If you do a responsible cuisine, you can open doors from others, and if you know what you are doing and you are motivated, so it's responsibility, yes, but at the same time, it's motivation because you are feeling that you are doing something for your culture, for your spreading your culture, and for your country. So it's very nice too, no, at the same time. That's why I always say that you have to be very responsible when you open something outside in a foreign country. Why? Because you can open doors or you can close doors from others, and still you can have nice stores, spreading the culture, or lying, no,
Mhm.
kind of lying. You are not doing the right thing. That's why we are not thinking always on money. We have to think on, yes, of course, it have to be a good business, but at the same time, you have do a responsibility for your country and for yourself. So it's if you're open a restaurant in a foreign country, you have to know and you have to be you have to have the certain that you are going to have the products there. And you have what we do is we do two things. We uh, we check the market because sometimes some markets have more, for example, vegetables, don't need too much meat, or they don't have in themselves too much spicy or whatever, and you can do a small balance without losing the soul, but a small balance. You adapt a little bit. But if you go to a market and you can find the most important Peruvian products, it's better not to do that. It's better not to make it. No, or if the market have a totally different uh, taste for things from Peruvian, and we think it's too far. We can say, well, it's not the moment. Maybe later, but now it's not. Maybe it's not the moment, and we think on that. Besides just thinking about the money.
Right. So you do sort of make small changes or alterations based on a
Adapt a
local
little.
culture. Mhm.
Always you have to adapt a little bit. All the markets are different, but it's still the only rule we have is to adapt a bit, but not losing the soul or the responsibility of the Peruvian cuisine flavors, or.
Right. Right. Makes a lot of sense. So obviously you mentioned you learned the discipline in US and the European sort of ability to have the passion for food. And you said that you try to integrate those things in your restaurant. So how do you actually manage to mix those two together?
I think the learning. I think the learning and the example you you are for the others, no? Because at the end, of course, I'm a cook, but now after that many years, you are like example, no? You have to pass all your knowledge, uh, all the route they must take to the others. So at the end, you turn into a trainer, you turn into a motivator, a leader that it's inclusive, more important than be a good cook. Because at certain times you can cook through others, but you can't be leader, example, knowledge through others. You can't. So you can cook through others, but the other things it's you and not and just you.
That's the thing that I was, like you mentioned, there's, a number of restaurants that you're running right now. So obviously you can't be at the same place at the same time, right? So what I'm interested in finding out is how do you manage these different places and how do when you open a new restaurant, for example, how do you decide I'm going to do this and how do you come up with the ideas and all that sort of stuff?
The concepts it's like playing in your head. It's what passion you have. For example, the last concept we opened, it's called Sapiens, that it's an open fire, because I always cook at home with open fire and I love it, and I love to I love the thought that let's go to the basics again, and let's forget a little bit that technology or whatever. Let's be cooks 100% again, and that's where the concept starts. But then I make services in Mayta, I make some services in Sapiens, not all the time. That's why I always say that we have to be leaders, we have to train people, so those people are like extensions of myself, my thoughts, my responsibility, my my passion or whatever, because in the years I trained those people, those cook, that now I think I see sometimes a mirror of me, because when I open a restaurant, the chef that I put there has to work with me no less than 5 years. That's a rule.
So if they join your restaurants, they have to work there for 5 years.
and most of them worked before in other restaurants with me, and they just got opportunity,
Right.
And I always, when we do a menu, I leader that, but I let them think and make things, because it's the only way they will grow, and the only way they are going to be motivated.
Yeah, that's interesting because obviously,
I let them fly as well.
right. I was gonna say that's the interesting thing is that obviously in restaurant industry, the where you've worked before and how you learn, it's very important, right? And then from great chefs, you would learn from a great chef, and then you would have your own ideas, and then after you've experienced enough in different places, then you start to own your own business, right? That's kind of the model, which I find is very interesting.
Yes, it's true. And the thing is, at the first time when I was studying and working the first 5 years, I was I was thinking of make an Italian cuisine first. But then you start to having some things, some thoughts with your country, that when you have a compromise with your country, you start to having like something that's going on in your mind, in your heart, that it's something you have to do. It's kind of, you feel like a responsibility. But what happened to me was thinking on that. But when come back to Peru and go around the country, the Amazonas, the Andes, and see that pantry, I said no. And it's not just responsibility. This is it's a fun thing to do, and motivated, and a motivation, and it was easy. It was easy to turn from Italy to Peruvian cuisine. It was pretty easy, and at the end, you have a responsibility to spread the culture, to put some new ingredients into your country, so you can teach your people and foreign people as well. No, show a little bit. No, to it's kind of, besides a small embassy of our country, when a foreign people, customers come, have to be like small museum of our products, no, small museum, and that's what we try to do till till now.
For sure. I like the idea of going to different restaurants and different places to eat in different countries. You do get a sense of how people live in general. And that's very interesting for me.
Nice.
Yeah. Now, obviously, like you said, Peru is a very popular place for food and culinary art. Obviously, a lot of great restaurants, one of the best restaurants in the world. So, what do you think of the level of excellence in culinary comes from? And also, how do your restaurants, how do they stand out? How do they
Sorry, level of what?
level of excellence, like how good
Okay.
they are, basically?
I think we are in a great moment. I think we have a great restaurants now being in Peru. We I think they are excellent. I think we're doing a great job. We have excellent products. Obviously, some of them, including me, of course, we can still learning. We can still going through excellence. But I think, um, in a sum, we have something very strong and something going on, and that's why people, customers, uh, still looking to us, no? Besides the pantry we have, that obviously it generate curiosity to others, no?
Hmm. And how do you make sure that Mayta and other restaurants that you own can become one of the best? How do you keep yourself at the top level?
When I open a restaurant, I try to be the best for me, for my thoughts, not lying to myself. Excellence for me, but I don't try to have the approbation of anything, of anybody. I just, for example, might have 15 years and we appear on lists 4 years ago, because I don't work for that. It's For me, that must be organic. So I try to go excellence for me, for my thought, for my people, for my customers, but not necessary, um, but not for ours. When I think about for ourselves, excellent for my people, for our customers, it's it's gonna be for all at the same time, you know. But I'm not where to show anything, to prove anything to anybody. I just try to be responsible, have fun, and be loyal to my thoughts.
Very cool. So it's basically you're you're trying to get to a point where you're happy with what you're doing, and that is because of your standards that makes everything at a high level.
Yes, because that's the only way things gonna get well, you know.
Mhm. So as we mentioned, you have a lot of restaurants in Peru and also outside of Peru, so overseas. Was it something that you wanted to do from the start, or was it something that came afterwards? And how did that change your way of thinking about food?
The thing is, it came organic because the thing is, when I started my career here, like I don't know, 20, 22 years ago, there was starting. Gaston make a great job putting the Peruvian gastronomic scene to everywhere. So, so, eh, so things started happening to me, like, ¿cómo se dice in English? Sorry,
No worries.
opportunities to open restaurants outside of Peru because of that. No, it's the truth. Okay, because I was a good cook, obviously, but because the Peruvian scene was spreading all over the world. So I just started taking opportunities at the first time because I need the money as well. It started because I needed the money because the first years of Mayta wasn't good.
Mhm.
So I need the money to to keep going. So, but at the end, you get more mature and that they start to make in business. They start to make a responsibility to spread that culture or whatever. But we start as a necessity. But then it's turned like a different business, and you grow, you mature, and you realize that that it turns like an opportunity for others. So you have something in your back that you have to carry with responsibility for your people, no?
Right. So talking about different things that you have to manage, how do you create a new dish, or what do you think about when you're creating a menu? Like, how do you actually get about doing that?
Thing in my type turns because we have a concept, no? And with that root, I don't know if root is that is the name. We start like no, you know, in Maita, the concept is all the desert of the coast, no? Ica, Paracas, the reserve, the national reserve of Paracas, that is the ocean, the culture of the Paracas culture. So with all of that, we start thinking on what they do, what we have there, what we have in the ocean there, and start like ideas with products, with the culture, and start making dishes, test us, and of course, when we have a test of a dish, we get with one every 10, maybe. No, it's not that easy, and you have to, and even your creativity have to be disciplined. If you have a discipline, even the creativity can go or can be very irregular, no?
Mhm.
So we have meetings every week uh, to get the discipline for the creativity, for the ideas, and we have a space here and a chef that develop it with me all of that in a daily basis.
So every day you work on something new, new ideas, and
Yes, yes. Develop the ideas on a daily basis with me, and that's why I always say that even the creativity must be disciplined. It's not like okay, I have that this idea now. Okay, We take notes, and the next meeting we talk about it and discuss it. No,
Right. It's not just like, oh, I wake up one day and I have like 10 ideas and I'll do it the same day.
at the beginning sometimes it's like that, but when you get more professional, more people to the team, more things to do, you have to be disciplined on that as well. No?
For sure. So, as your company or your restaurants grow, on the business side, how do you manage these things? Because obviously, each
Have
restaurant has their own thing, right?
have a team. I have a
Uh-huh.
team. I have partners as well. So I don't. I don't. My company operates the restaurants, but I have people doing that, and we have weekly meetings. We have a directories monthly, and I take care of the concepts, of the situation of the concepts in a daily basis, and the kitchen, of course, and that's my job. And
Nice.
I know what's happening everywhere. I have knowledge of everything a bit, but I'm doing what I think I'm the best for to do. No,
For sure. That makes you why you're great, right? Is you have your system that's in place.
or I was an administration as well, but I'm not good, and I lose time.
Mhm.
I'm not the best for the position, but at the beginning you have necessity to do everything because you don't have the money to to have more people. But it's learning. It's the way it is. That's why now young people or young chefs frustrate more because now we have this, and
Mhm.
this is like it's you have everything at the moment right now. The no, it's and now some young people for forget or don't have interior things that they don't know that great things takes time and discipline. That's why the frustration now with young people are are bigger than before.
That's a good point. A lot of even just reading newspaper or interviews, people say,
Try to spread that to my team because I have young chefs, young cooks, very good, but they want to be a chef after 3 months. And if you don't give them a great position, you lost him. And now they are rotating to restaurants. Before you rotate to restaurants every 3 years or whatever. Now they want to rotate every 6 months and then go like that. And they frustrate themselves. That's what I'm trying to tell the young people that they must be disciplined, they must be patient, and good things doesn't happen that fast. And and the luck, it's not in the air. The luck, you make your luck. No,
I think that's perfectly explains why you have the 5-year rule, right? That you have for people that work with you. I think that makes perfect sense because
yes,
otherwise.
I know what I can count with them.
Mhm. So you can actually help them grow, help them get better, basically. For sure.
When they want to fly after that and do their thing or have opportunities, I'm the first to say, please fly. Fly, you're ready, and all the luck and whatever you need, I'll be always here. No?
Right. So talk about back a little bit food, more about the food. So I'm gonna ask you this question: what's your favorite dish at your restaurants, and also in general in Peru, like Peruvian food? What's your favorite dish?
I have I have I have three favorite dishes in Peru. One is obviously the ceviche. The second one is the ají de gallina, and the third one is the arroz con pato.
Okay.
So chicken, duck, and fish. That's my favorite. And in my time, I don't have I have the favorite that it's a concept of the tasting menu in general. But in Peruvian cuisine, I have those three favorite dishes. But I love it.
What was the second? The two other two?
De gallina. It's like a stew of chicken
Uh-huh.
but with ají amarillo paste base, like an estofado.
Ah, okay. It's like a stew kind of
It's
almost. Uh-huh.
rice with a lot of flavors.
Uh-huh.
A little bit of bread, a little bit of parmesan, ají amarillo chili, garlic, onion, cumin.
Nice. And then the duck, what was it again?
It's arroz con pato, that it's a rice, a green rice made
Ah,
with
okay.
straw, with loche pumpkin that it grows in the north, with beer, with chicha de jora. So it's a lot of thing going on in that rice, but it's very flavorful, very tasty.
That's what makes it interesting, right? The different spices and herbs and ingredients that went into one dish.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so last two questions for Chef Pesaque. Well, thanks again for being with us. Um, the obviously you've grown a lot since when you opened Mayta, and so you've done a lot of different restaurants. Do you have any other exciting plans coming up in the future?
Yes, I'm trying to do some things we have two things going on now in my career with the business plan or whatever. It's we are opening a fabric that we're going to produce recipe things uh, for the people, for our restaurant, but still for the markets, supermarkets, that we're going to develop sauces,
Oh,
uh, pizzas. That it's gonna be another line, and the other one is we are trying to get into airports with our brands, with our casual brands. So we are doing efforts for those two things at the moment.
okay.
And the fund is going to supply all the restaurants, but in a more standard thing, no? Professional and standard things for all the restaurants.
Right, so that you have one place to go and everything is sort of similar to each
Yes.
other. You won't get the
Yes,
differences.
but the space is big and it's going to be to develop it in the time more things like sauces, frozen pizzas, and some items that is going to be fun and a business as well. No? Hopefully,
That's always the goal for sure. And the last question for you, what is one kitchen secret you can share with us? Could be how you cook certain things, how you prep ingredients, whatever it may be.
now it's there's no more secrets. I think the secret is to be consistent and disciplined. No, that's it. And then knowledge, you have to spread it. If you have to, if you want a good restaurant, you don't have to take anything for you. You have to spread the knowledge. Because if not, your people that it's going to do things for you, uh, it's not going to happen. So I think now it's no secrets, just the discipline and consistency and be a good leader. No more than that. And still, there's some things that divides the the guys that or people that could have businesses running. It's you have to handle the pressure.
Hmm.
If you don't handle the pressure, still you are an amazing cook, an amazing guy, smart as anybody. If you can handle pressure, you can't be a businessman as well. Besides a good cook, you have to handle pressure.
That's a good point. I mean, just seeing kitchens and being in different restaurants, it's a very high pressure environment, and it's
Partners. I have friends that they are great cooks, even better than me or whatever, but they don't know how to handle pressure.
mm, mhm,
And if you don't have that, it's very difficult to make a successful business.
right. That could be the secret, just to be able to handle pressure, right? Oh wait, well, thanks again, Chef Pesaque, for being with us today, and
I
yeah,
hope you see you soon in Peru.
I hope so. I'm planning maybe next year or two. I'll definitely return to Peru and Lima and visit your restaurant for sure.
Please let me know.
Okay, I will. And thanks again. And good chatting with you. Okay, see you.